The air hung thick and heavy. The stench of mildew and decay filled their nostrils. The Ninja Turtles moved cautiously through the sewer tunnels. Their usual playful banter was absent, replaced by a tense silence. Leonardo, ever vigilant, noticed strange symbols etched into the damp walls. They were crudely drawn, a spiral here, a circle there. Unsettling. "Guys, look," Leo hissed, pointing his katana towards the markings. "We need to be extra careful." The others gathered around. Donatello, ever the scientist, examined the symbols closely. He frowned. I've never seen anything like them." A low growl echoed through the tunnels. The turtles exchanged worried glances. They were not alone. The growl grew louder, closer. It sent shivers down their shells. Fear, primal and raw, gripped their hearts. They drew their weapons, their eyes darting in the darkness. A shape emerged from the shadows, huge, hulking. Its eyes glowed with an eerie green light. The creature moved with surprising speed and agility for its size. It let out a deafening roar, the sound bouncing off the sewer walls. Michelangelo, the youngest and most light-hearted, whimpered. He hated confined spaces. Now, trapped in the darkness with this thing, his fear threatened to overwhelm him. Donatello raised his bowstaff, his voice shaking slightly. What is that?" The creature lunged. Michelangelo found himself separated from his brothers. The creature's roar echoed behind him. His heart pounded in his chest. He ran, blindly, desperately. The sewer seemed to twist and turn, a labyrinth designed to trap him. He tripped, falling hard on the damp ground. He scrambled to his feet, his breath coming in ragged gasps. He was surrounded by rats, hundreds of them. Their beady eyes glinted in the darkness. Michelangelo hated rats. They were his worst fear. He screamed, a high-pitched, terrified sound. The rats surged towards him, a wave of writhing, squeaking bodies. He swung his nunchucks wildly, trying to beat them back, but they kept coming. He was trapped, alone. His nightmare had become a reality. Donatello fought back against the creature. His bowstaff connected with a sickening thud, but the creature barely seemed to notice. It swiped at Donatello with a massive claw, forcing him to jump back. He had to use his intelligence, his knowledge. That's what made him Donatello. But fear clouded his thoughts. He couldn't think straight. He felt a wave of nausea, dizziness. His vision blurred. His greatest fear, losing his intellect, becoming just another mindless beast, was taking hold. He stumbled back, his bowstaff clattering to the ground. He was vulnerable, defenseless. The creature advanced, its eyes glowing with malevolent glee. Donatello closed his eyes, waiting for the end. Leonardo fought with the ferocity of a cornered animal. He was the leader. He had to protect his brothers, but doubt gnawed at him. His every swing, every block felt off. He saw his brothers fall one by one, picked off by the creature. He was too slow, too weak. He had failed them. His greatest fear, letting his brothers down, threatened to cripple him. He hesitated. A fatal mistake. The creature slammed into him, sending him crashing into the wall. Leonardo lay there, defeated. His brothers were gone, and it was all his fault. Section 6. Raphael's Terror. Raphael roared in anger and frustration. He attacked the creature with savage abandon, but the creature was too strong, too fast. It knocked him back with ease. He was separated from his brothers, lost in the maze of tunnels. He felt a rage building inside him, a blind, uncontrollable rage. He lashed out at the shadows, his eye slicing through the air. He was losing himself, becoming the very thing he hated, a mindless beast driven by anger, his greatest fear. The creature circled him, its eyes gleaming with amusement. It was toying with him, enjoying his torment. Section 7. Desperate Struggle. The creature lunged at Raphael, its jaws open wide. But then a green blur slammed into it, knocking it off balance. Michelangelo. He stood there, his nunchucks at the ready, a determined look on his face. "Nobody messes with Mikey's brothers," he shouted. Donatello, his eyes clear again, rejoined the fight. He used his bow staff to trip the creature, sending it sprawling to the ground. Leonardo, his spirit reignited by his brother's courage, picked up his katana and charged back into the fray. He moved with renewed purpose, his fear forgotten. Raphael, his rage momentarily forgotten, saw an opening and took it. He drove his side deep into the creature's side. It roared in pain and fury. The turtles fought as one, their individual fears momentarily forgotten in the face of a common enemy. Section 8. Narrow Escape. The creature, wounded and enraged, thrashed wildly. It knocked the turtles back one by one. They were exhausted, wounded. They couldn't keep this up for much longer. Suddenly, the creature froze. It let out an ear-splitting shriek. It turned and fled, disappearing back into the darkness from whence it came, leaving the turtles bruised, battered, but alive. Leonardo cautiously approached the spot where the creature had disappeared. What was that?" he asked, his voice filled with awe and terror. Donatello shook his head. I don't know," he replied, "but I don't think we've seen the last of it." The turtles gathered together. They were alive, for now. Section 9. Lingering Fear. They made their way back to the surface. The familiar sights and sounds of the city were a welcome relief. But something had changed. The sewers, once their sanctuary, now felt different, menacing. They had faced their fears and survived. But the memory of that night, of the creature, of their own terror, lingered. They knew deep down that the threat was far from over. The creature was still out there, watching, waiting. The sewers held new terrors now, terrors that lurked in the shadows, terrors that whispered their names. The turtles had faced many enemies before, but this was different. This was something ancient, something evil, and it wasn't finished with them yet.